let's watch a little bit of this. Can you be gay?
The only identity I want to claim over my life is child of God. I hate
LGBTQA.
So even as I came out of the closet, like I didn't like to announce myself as gay. The only identity that I clearly see within inside of myself is being a child of God.
Yeah, a gay child of God.
Has defined for me as a man.
Why is there conflict there between being a child of God and other parts of your identity?
It's not really up to me to get to define like who I am, and a lot of times even in my own life, like I thought that I wanted certain things, and then I realized that those things were not good for me.
It isn't up to him to identify who he is, and that's why he's doing a very bad job identifying as straight right now. This is an automatic L for the former gay camp because there's no such thing, and it's so apparent. You know what I mean? Immediately, it's like, oh, never mind. Like, you're still gay. Okay, got it.
So I'll say this. I'll agree that having same-sex attraction is not a choice and stuff, because I had same-sex attraction since preschool and stuff. I didn't have that choice and stuff. I was like, oh, why am I attracted to guys like how girls and guys normally are attracted to each other? But I definitely will say, like, you know, as a Christian from a theological standpoint, you do have a choice to act on it or not. And God gives us the power by the strength of the Holy Spirit to have us walk in a life that is holy and pure and righteous before him.
In a lineup, all of the ex-gays, except for the other person who was saying that they possibly wanted to be trans, they're getting clocked as gay before you every single time.
I was just thinking that.
Like, they're just like, I really liked men even as a child. It's like, bro, you're still gay, man.
That's
How
why
do you
need to
not
send
see
me
it?
you could send me to a Trump rally and I would fit right in.
There's no clear indication of the concept of ex-gay being a falsehood than literally just putting a bunch of people who claim ex-gay in a room and being like, go ahead, explain to us.
I should do one of these videos.
It is fundamentally at odds with what you are presenting. Like, what do you mean? And it's so obvious. It's so obvious to everybody. You're like, yeah, I used to men and I'm no longer gay. It's like, sure, dude. Yeah, got it. Whatever you say, brother. Sure.
Something that I don't want to do. Like, let's say I love Big Macs. I love going to McDonald's. I love eating, but that's not necessarily good for me. And would you say that I repress my needs?
Yes. That's not
So, but why does it have to be negative? Why can't it be something positive? Yeah, like self-control. Self-control.
I love this dude being like, listen, I also have an eating disorder. Which is also very gay, okay? Have you seen the way this man operates?
I wouldn't eat a protein bar this morning because it had 14 grams of fat.
There's 14 grams of fat in it. I wanted to headbutt him.
No, because it is an egregious amount of fat for a bar that's marketed as a protein bar.
Oh my God. We're not.
And I will stand on this hill. It's a problem with the food industry. You can market something as a protein bar when there's more fat in the protein bar than there is protein.
Bro, there's
14 grams of fat for a bar. There's 9 calories per gram of fat.
It needs to be edible.
That's
Austin.
whatever 9 times 14
it needs
is.
to be edible.
There's many edible things with low fat. We have a fat problem in this country. Fat is not bad, but we eat it in excess. Okay,
that's not true.
Bullshit. Butter.
If you eat out,
oil.
yes, but if you eat a protein bar, you're not getting excess fat.
It is excess fat. That is too much fat for that portion of food.
Oh my God, we're okay. You're literally chowing down on hummus right now.
No, I'm eating chicken breast.
I know, but you're also eating
that's a
hummus.
healthy fat. What's in that protein bar? Chocolate, peanut butter. Well, peanut butter's good.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
All right.
We know that homosexuality occurs throughout nature. This is not a question anymore. And the idea...
Homosexuality occurs...
That's my favorite thing. When people try to say it's not natural, it's like, bro, do you know the animal kingdom? Do you know how gay animals are?
But there's only one species that is homophobic, and that's human beings. So which one is unnatural? I saw that on a shirt yesterday. I want to buy it.
Good shirt.
It's a great shirt.
It is a hilarious thing that people say like, oh, well, it's not natural to be queer. It's like, bro, you have no idea what nature looks like then.
Because it used to be like they did have psychological terms. Homosexuality was considered to be a disorder.
In the age of Freud, but we've moved on since that.
Yeah, debunked that.
Why have we moved on since that? Was it the gay rights movement?
No.
That's so funny. Dude, I love conservatives. They literally be like, remember when homosexuality was considered a mental illness? Yeah, dude, they also would lobotomize women back then. Like, what are we talking about? Yeah, it's called science, man. It improves, okay? When we find out that like certain things that we were doing were actually not great in terms of like fixing people's like ailments or whatever. It's so dumb. Doctors just give women orgasms to stop them from being crazy. Yeah, that
seems to be a self-serving.
No, that for hysteria.
Freud was science progresses as we get new knowledge. That's how science works.
I believe if you were born with a vagina, you are a woman. If you were born with a penis, you are a man.
Wait, is this even about being guys just open with transphobia? Just for no reason.
There's nothing funnier than saying that while sitting next to a person who is intersex who literally just said they're intersex. Like, brother hasn't even figured that out. Like, I guess he was just going, la la la, can't hear you. Like, what do you mean? And there's a ton of intersex people out there. We just don't know usually, right? But like, this person is openly intersex. Like, you're sitting next to the person. The f- do you mean?
I don't want to be, you know.
No, I'm an open
insensitive,
book, so ask me anything.
But reproductive organs, like, they don't work. Like, do you have a
So
womb?
for me, no, I was born with literally almost no internal sex organs and non-fully developed sex organs. So when I was born, I basically
See, that's
had
the gayest question you could
partially
ask.
formed phallus, but I did not have testes, did not have ovaries, I didn't have any prostate, anything like that. And so when I started going through puberty, I never got.
There's nothing funnier than that guy trying to have sex with women, being like, "Oh, I love this."
You usually have such a tight womb.
Yeah, I love thinking about your womb and fertilizing your egg with my semen. Yes, this is what God wants me to do, sis. I mean, broad.
Penis man, vagina female, XX this, and like I have XX chromosomes, but like
XX, that is male.
XX is female. So I chromosomally a female. However, like my condition's called Daylash.
It's so funny when you try to like dunk on a person, but you just don't know anything about the subject matter. It's great.
But it's also known by some people as XX male syndrome because, like, again, people just associate the penis being there as something to be male. But up to 50% of people with my condition do end up going under some feminizing transition. I'm happy to share my story because I think it's very important. I think it would help a lot of people understand that, like, if I can be born this way, why could someone not be born a trans person? Why could someone not be born a homosexual or bisexual person?
Well, I want to apologize for the Christian community because I think there has been a lack of education between gender and then also
Wow.
sexuality.
That's
I
what
look
it
at your
is.
piece, I'm like, man, that's horrible.
A
That
lack of
sucks. Like,
communication.
attraction.
Bro wants to apologize to the Christian community while simultaneously being like, so what is it? XX is male? How about you apologize for the things that you believe personally?
Wow. Just a lack of communication. That's all this has been, Hasan.
Yeah.
Lack of communication.
I think he needs to communicate less with God.
I believe God created man and woman. I don't see any intersex. I don't see any of these things in the Bible.
Wow, that is
That's
so
the word of God.
tremendously dismissive.
The very first being that was created was genderless.
Was Adam. No, Adam was a man.
Adam
And he
was
said it
not
was
the
an
man.
Adam.
Didn't Eve literally get created from Adam's spine? Like, Adam is a man.
Wait, they were doing stem cell back then?
Bro, yeah, his rib. Adam is a
damn.
man who technically gave birth to a woman.
Technology was wild back then.
Adam was the first trans man giving birth to a whole ass woman who he then ended up, I guess, having sex with, which is weird. The Bible is weird. Don't ask these questions. Don't ask the questions to the Bible because, one, it does have empreg. Okay, Adam is empreg. And two, his own daughter technically.
Hey, you know what? They had to do some to create the earth. That was the only they allow.
A man went to Jesus about his son who was born blind, and he said, "Why was my son born this way? Is it
Generational
is,
curse.
yeah, is it a
because
result
his
of my
parents'
sins?"
sin.
And Jesus responded and said, "It's so the glory of God could be seen in him." You know, that brings a lot of comfort to me. And when I think of a rare case of I know you're not religious, you don't believe in that, but that's how I see you. You know, I see the glory of God in you.
Dude, I hate how smarmy Christians get, like when they're like, "Oh no, I'm praying for you." It's like, bitch, shut the up. What do you mean you're praying for you? Meanwhile, you're simultaneously saying, like, you know, your existence is abhorrent and also immoral because of standards that I misunderstand that someone else made up.
Did you ever pray? I don't know. I'm asking.
Did I pray like the gay way?
Well, yeah. I know we all made those prayers, of course. But I mean, because I never went through that.
Did you ever pray the gay way?
I was wondering, like, in those.
I
Like in the early,
I prayed for
did they
more
not
of it.
incorporate?
no,
Like,
when in your early
did,
stages,
but
like
it
because of
wasn't
the
like the
shame
main
and
goal.
fear
Like, I've been
that
able
you
to
might be gay.
recognize
No,
because that's what he's
Jesus as the
talking
chief.
about.
Early on in my discovering my sexuality, I never had issues associated with religion. It was more so the societal expectations of me to being a straight heterosexual male. Originally, we're rooted in probably some sort of religious, I mean, obviously religion is the reason why society became that way. And then I ultimately felt that way. I never begged for it to be gone. I just kind of ignored it and tried to like push it away, but never begged for it to be gone. And then eventually I got to a point where I was like, I need more of it. And I'm at that point right now where give me all the gay you can give me. Just let it run through my veins. Me up with the gay. I'm all about it, baby. Full throttle gay.
We know.
Change of my desires to be able to say my desires change to want to submit my whole personhood to the lordship of Jesus. I don't feel it. Like I'm like, well, I still have attractions to men, and I'm looking around the gym, and I'm like, wow, these guys are, you know, good looking. I'm still like, I want to submit my desires to the Lord. And
No, he's like a Rick Perry gay.
There ain't no way. There's no way he's gonna last.
Have you ever heard Rick Perry talk about homosexuality?
No.
So Rick Perry is like a fascinating figure for me because I clocked him many, many years ago as being a homosexual man, but like it's not very well known. Like Lindsey Graham, everybody knows, right? But like Rick Perry, most people don't know. And the only reason why I figured that out was because once Rick Perry famously said, being gay is like being an alcoholic. The temptation might be there for you to drink alcohol, but you don't do it when you've cured yourself of your addiction. And I feel like
You never
the
cure
only
yourself of your addiction, right?
no, but like my point is the only person who could ever craft that narrative be a dude that is addicted to cock in the same way that an alcoholic is addicted to alcohol. That's the gayest you could ever say. Because for most people, for most straight people, they do not have a craving for cock. I don't even think a lot of gay people have that level of craving for cock where they're like, I need cock, except for Austin.
I'm just kidding. I really don't have that much of a craving for cock. See, I give so much to people that have
he has a craving for bussy more than he has it for cock.
I get angry because people associate with me with being like a crazed lunatic, and then I do like that. I just, you know what? I'm to blame. I'm the problem.
I mean, you're memeing.
I'm memeing, but still people take it seriously, and then they think I'm sex crazed, and it's just not true.
redemptive order, you know, like if all the women in the world decided to have sex with women and all the men decided to have sex with men, there would no longer be any reproduction.
There are plenty of straight people who.
Wait, that's so weird. That's insane to say. Does bro think that like people just can't conceive? Bro, how did Jesus get conceived? That's in the Bible, mother. How did Jesus get conceived? If you believe the Bible, then guess what, dude? I guess there's other ways of having children than just straight sex. That's in the Bible. God damn America. That's in the Bible.
Some language here being talked about, like being delivered of homosexuality. If it's not being done by a clinical psychologist, that doesn't change the fact that it's trying to convert you from being one thing to another thing. And I think that is objectively harmful.
It's not about bringing that community from gay to straight. It's bringing them from gay to a relationship with the Lord. I'm married today. I have a baby on the way, right?
Congratulations.
Thank you, bro. But I think when I tell people my testimony, they take the highlight of my story.
Every time I say this, it gets just blown over. But why these people ignore the craziest the Bible says? They latch on to this age-old thing that being gay is wrong. Why don't they just skip over all the other crazy the Bible says every single time? Why?
The Bible.
What is their reason? What is their response to that?
The Bible bangs.
I'm reading something. It says non-virgins are to be stoned, as in with rocks. A woman's punishment for defending her husband is cut off her hand.
I agree. To be fair, those are good.
Giving birth to a daughter makes you unclean for 66 days.
You're reading the best parts of the Bible.
If you disobey God, you will eat your babies. If your brothers die, you need to bang his wife. I don't know.
No, that one is literally no. That's
but that's what it said.
No,
Master Moses wrote unto us,
described.
if a man's brother die and leave his wife behind him and leave no children, then his brother should take his wife and raise up seed unto his brother.
Yeah, that's why. No, not just you have to f your dead brother's wife. You have to nut inside of her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No bastards may enter the church.
And the thing is, that one is actually really cool because Hunter Biden did that.
What did he really?
Yeah, a lot of these phony ass Christians don't appreciate.
Modern day folks would say that that's abhorrent. You know, evil. That's not the word of God. I don't understand why we just ignore all this but cling to the fact that homosexuality is the sin that is going to condemn you to hell. I mean, and we just ignore all the other.
You didn't even do the basic stuff.
I know, but we ignore all the other. I just cannot understand.
You should have hit the basic stuff, like, you know, not mixing and matching polyester and
like that's what I'm saying.
Or whatever.
Like, stuff like that.
Not eating shrimp.
But I don't understand. Yeah, exactly. Very basic things that we have just done without, and we have just decided that this is what we're gonna do without, and we've decided that for some reason we're gonna cling to the fact that homosexuality is a sin, despite all of those things happening in the animals that we think God created all around us. All the animals are men, women, all of it. We don't see that. We see that they're perfect because they were made in the eyes of God, right? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I mean, it's stupid.
Married and me having a child on the way. But the highlight of my story is me coming from a gay lifestyle to a relationship with the Lord.
Wait, his highlight is not even having a child?
Wait, did he have a child? Is he married?
Yeah, he's about to have a child on the way. God. You're so horny to yell at these guys that you're not even hearing.
Dude, I can't even. Oh my God, his poor wife.
You're just scared because their opinion would change.
Oh God.
Your opinion would change if you only knew.
That
Well,
is
to
their
be a
story.
Christian is part of being suffering. I mean, you should know this. It's like Jesus, he denied himself. He put himself on the cross. Like, there's
But
probably
she's
going to
saying
be.
suffered unnecessarily.
That's right.
And why do we need to suffer as people for a book that was written through?
He's saying I'm the Jesus of not sucking dick when I want to.
I experimented with bisexuality when I was a teenager, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know there was a label. I just did it just because I felt good. But it was until college I realized, like, oh, there's a community, LGBT. So I was happy that I found my identity in the Pride community, and I still do have family and friends who I love who are in gay marriages. But after being born again, just the word itself, it just didn't sit right with me. There's definitely an agenda behind it.
She literally
speaking
said,
spiritually,
I
right?
had feelings
I
as a
just think that we need to
teenager,
be more aware.
explored my sexuality, and it was a meaningful contribution to my life because I have good family and friends that are still a part of that community. Where did it up? You had people that you could lean on and relate to that were having similar life experiences.
Where
the problem?
How we use that word pride.
Yeah, no, for the Pride, like, you know, speaking specifically about like Pride parades and like the entire month of June celebrating Pride, if it's a thing that like people are inviting children to and like people like, you know, in Gen Z and things like that, and like you see like genitalia just like out and like people just naked and stuff like
Man, calm down, bro. Christ.
They're so stupid.
I've only
They're so
seen you.
dumb.
I've only seen you.
We didn't invent Pride to bring children to. I don't want my kids at Pride. I'm not bringing my kids to Pride when they're okay. They can go to Pride on their own when they grow up. Okay. I want to, you know, I want to be proud. You know, and it had nothing to do with. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. You're not gonna defeat the sex crazed allegations right now. I want to fuck at Pride.
Get my. But it just kills me. Like, no.
Sideways.
You know where people are bringing their kids to church? Who's indoctrinating who?
Okay, bro. You can't yell this much. I'm getting a headache, dude. You're so out of control. You're scaring Kaya.
All these people were brought from a very young age, which is why they're dealing with all this trouble right now.
I just don't like personally agree with that. But then also they view disagreeing with them about their lifestyle as being homophobic when that's completely different things, and they're literally training people like, no, if people disagree with you about who you are, about the life that you live, they're homophobic, they're scared of you, they want to be away from you, and I do not agree with it.
He's like,
I just think they're gonna go to hell.
Yeah.
And what they're doing is abhorrent. It's morally repugnant to be in love with, as a man, being in love with another man is disgusting.
Yeah, and if anybody thinks that they should die and go to hell and shouldn't be able to get married, that you're just an opinion.
I don't agree with having your cock out at Pride Parade. I don't like.
Well,
public,
I don't
like public nudity at all. I think it's weird. I mean, people do it without it being affiliated with gay. Either like people do the naked bike ride and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's gross.
I've been to Pride a few times, and I have not seen a cock or a pussy or boobs or anything.
Like, to them, I will say I don't agree with that lifestyle.
I have been
for the people that want to be naked in public. I don't agree with your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now,
I don't agree with it. You have to be oppressed a little bit.
I also,
okay?
I'm from Oregon, so I've seen the naked bike ride.
Bro, go to the Keys in Florida. They have naked painted parades all the time. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it has nothing to do with like
The
gay pride,
homosexuality,
straight pride. I don't give a kind of.
Yep.
Don't be proud of that.
There's a nude. What about a fucking nude beach? Hello?
Yeah, exactly. And the point is, you have to go there to see that. You know what I mean? And that's fine. If you want to be naked in public and you live in like a nudist community, that's one thing. If you know, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of like, where's the smoke for Mardi Gras and public nudity? I think Mardi Gras is gross too. I'm incredibly consistent on this issue. I think Mardi Gras is disgusting for not just nudity, but and also like some level of nudity is not the end of the world. I'm not like the massive prude or anything. I guess for me, it's like it has to be appealing. Yeah, and no, this doesn't pertain to being topless. I don't give a that. Yeah, whatever. Let your titties fly. I don't give. Look at this slut. I mean, look at him. He's literally blasting nips out here. That's fine. Like I said, when we're talking about like dicks and pussies, and we're just like talking about like old ladies and old men having their dicks out and pussies out, I'm like, okay, dude, can we?
They had their time. It's over.
Yeah, it's just like, let's not do that. Let's dial it back a little bit.
By the time you get confident in being naked, nobody wants to see you naked. You know, it sucks, but that's just the reality. The older you get, the more confident you get in your body, and then by the time you're ready to just let it go, like nobody wants to see it.
The best example is the locker room.
Yes, I talk about this all the time.
There's gonna be nudity there. You
yeah.
can't stop it.
Yep.
You know, that's the locker room.
Yep.
It's normal.
Yep.
Doesn't mean it's great. It's not a great experience. Okay.
And the funniest thing is the older straight men get, the more confident and more they want you to see their dick because they're so proud of it.
Dude.
And they're so straight.
And it's the lower your balls hang.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a gravitational pull to the balls. Okay.
Yeah.
And the more time you spend on this earth, the more your balls keep sagging. And the saggier they become, the more confident you become for some weird reason. I don't know why. Locker rooms. I mean, this is just like you go to one locker room. Okay. You will know exactly what I mean.
Yeah, and public restrooms too. Look, I went to an event in which there was people lose their shame as they get older.
Yeah,
and also unfortunately control their bowels. But when I was at this event, and there happened to be a lot of older people there. And bro, I walked to the bathroom, fucking just pants at the ankles at the urinal.
That's crazy.
Just ass out, everything. And I was like in the bathroom, just struggling, blowing out the back toilet seat. It was just so violent. And I'm just like, God, I don't want to get old. I just don't want to get old. It was just, it just sucks. It just sucks.
But some are pushing this demonic agenda on the kids because kids' minds are sponges. And when you show them that being a man and a woman being together is okay, they're going to grow up thinking, okay, I can do the same thing. And when you do that, you're turning a whole nation.
I have said this so many different times. Okay. And it's
Christ,
very clear by like who I am today that I did not have a tremendous amount of gay influence growing up. I was raised in a household with 2 straight parents. All my siblings were straight. I was told I was going to be straight. I was going to marry a woman, and I still turned out to be gay. All right. And no pride display at Target or RuPaul's Drag Race or Queer Eye for the straight guy could have changed my trajectory.
Dude, obviously if that was the case, then there would be no homosexuality, because for every one like RuPaul's Drag Race, hundreds of examples of straight relations in our heteronormative society. So you'd see like one gay thing, and then you turn around and be like, oh, and then you'd see 1,000 other straight things and be like, all right, I'm back to being straight. It's so dumb. Also, yeah, there would be no gay people in like Iran if that was the case. It's not like how did that happen? You think don't in Iran were like they saw gay television? Is that why?
You don't know RuPaul Persia? A huge hit.
It's so stupid.
Okay, so I actually grew up a Catholic, and I don't agree with a lot of their doctrine. You need to be born again to know the Word of God.
Oh God!
I think,
what the fuck does
that mean?
Oh, dude, it's the worst. She's evangelical. Oh my God. Oh, it's the worst kind, bro. It's like adult converts, adult reverts of all different shapes, sizes, backgrounds, of all different religions are literally the nuttiest. So consistently. I just don't get it. I unironically was like way more aggro towards religion when I was younger. I've become more understanding of people's faith as I have gotten older. My experience, and I think this is probably many people in this community, I know overwhelming majority of this community, you spend your whole life running away from religion, and it's everywhere. For some weird reason, I don't know, I just cannot comprehend how someone in their adult life can turn around and be like, no, I'm actually going to run towards religion. I just don't understand it.
She's about to go on and talk about the anxiety that she felt after experimenting. A lot of us, I experienced a lot of anxiety about not experimenting. It had nothing to do with my relationship with God. It had everything to do with my relationship with society and the expectations at which were put onto me from society itself. Nothing to do with my relationship with God. It felt wrong because of everything that I was told. All right. But she's going to tie it back to the fact that God says it's wrong, and that's why she felt that way. But roll the tape.
Anxiety, I dealt with a little bit of depression because of like the stress of going to school. And when I went through my deliverance, I didn't go into my deliverance being like, oh, I need to be delivered from being a bisexual. I went into my deliverance wanting to be set free from anxiety and
yeah.
doubt and
What was
all
your
those
anxiety
things.
tied
And
to?
So answering the prompt, I don't think it's healthy.
Yeah, I think one of my first experiences, I lost my virginity through an app called Grindr, and so I was led to experiment on Grindr, and I opened up doors that I wish I would have never opened up before, and that's why I'm like, no,
Why are you
don't
laughing?
experiment. Like, if you're having the attractions, understand the
app called
attractions,
Grindr.
but don't go out.
He's like, bro, I met a cum hungry power bottom, and I should have never. I didn't know they made him like that.
Because now I struggle a lot with sex addiction. I struggle a lot with temptations. There's some things that you can't.
No,
so
you
when
just got a
people
bunch of
struggle
pent
with-
up frustration.
Yeah,
you have no
it's-
sex addiction.
It's so
you're
funny to-
frustrated because you can't explore.
There's nothing funnier to me than living in America in 2024, personally
Repressed.
self-cucking.
You're
It's
just,
just
a
like,
hoe is what somebody
you could
said.
literally do whatever the you want, and you're just literally like, I'm literally going to self-neuter for no reason. It's so odd. He just like, dude, he busted a nut in some dude's butt and loved it, and then was like, my whole life is about fighting this temptation. The wrong with you, dude? Just dog them dudes out.
Just
Get
do
in
it a
there.
few times, get it out of your system, right? And then go back.
I mean, I think he is doing it. To be fair, I think he's. I am not convinced he hasn't stopped having.
I'll be
sex.
honest. Now that he knows, now that he's a YouTuber, it makes more sense now. He's on this grift.
I don't know. He seems very genuine in some ways because he admits a lot of stuff that grifters wouldn't admit, like the fact that he still has temptation.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Or it kind of opens it up. So if he gets caught on Grindr, he could be just like, "Oh, I was being tempted, but I didn't act on him. I was just looking. I was just browsing." Yeah,
It's
I agree. I think
usually
of all the
because they've
people on this
repressed it.
panel, I think he's the most likely to eventually.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. Whereas like the other ones, I'm like, you're lost. You know what I mean? But for him, it's like I kind of feel bad.
I just want to implore all of us to honesty. And I don't think it's honest to claim to be ex-gay because not one of you have said that you have actually been delivered of your sexuality. And by promoting that message, you are causing unnameable harm to young people in churches who are going to think that if they pray or go to therapy or follow
just said,
your
"Y'all are
version of
still gay as
Christianity, that God is going to take away their sexual orientation and their sexual desire." I've not heard that said here. I've heard, I've chosen not to do this. I've chosen to turn away. Say that, but don't promote this message that you can be or should be healed of the way that God created you.
Damn, that's a solid final note because they had nothing for that. They just shut the up and we're like, all right.
Yeah, they had nothing
He's
from
like,
that.
he's thinking of dicks right now. Like,
Yeah.
you look at him.
He's on. He's got Grindr. He's got Grindr. Oh, don't bull.
Not personal.
I just don't understand how people can just say all that hateful and then get up and then hug each other. I don't understand it. Am I up for that?
Well, this is one of those instances where it's like it didn't seem as bad.
Except the one guy that was saying that the one guy that got married.
There were a couple dudes in there that you can get away with hugging and. But like,
Yeah, there's a few.
Sometimes it's like unhinged. It'll be like trans people versus like people who have killed trans people. Let's discuss. And it's like, how do you shake that person? There was an Israel-Palestine debate. How do you get up and shake the hands of the people who just said like, no, actually, I was a part of the military machine that murdered your uncle, murdered your aunt, and I think it's totally rad. Like, let's find a middle ground in that. Okay, maybe I should have just murdered your uncle and maybe not your firstborn, right? Like, and then it would have been fine. Jubilee has been saying they want to do a Holocaust survivor versus denier episode for dude, that is unhinged.
That's crazy.
It's like
That's crazy.
the Holocaust deniers can be of any age, but Holocaust survivors, there's a limited amount of them at this point. You know what I mean?
That's
You're gonna put
wild.
like Gabor Mate against some fresh pizza face groiper.
That's crazy.
Some things you just can't both sides, man. It feels crazy. Yeah. Holocaust survivor versus guy who wants to do the Holocaust is an insane thing. You can't do a debate between a fact and someone who denies a fact. That's not how it works. Yeah, except that's literally the premise of basically every middle ground episode.
Wow, look at this. Look at this unification of the straight and gay community. Look
There
at
you
that.
go. I gotta wash my hand. This game gets scary. Yes, it does. When you think about all the scary things that come into the country. Oh, look at this beauty. Cockdilla, cock the bezel of wood. About the fucking vehicle. What is this, huh? What the fuck is this, Gamal? Seems like we have a real weapons dealer in our hands, huh? You know, this is not America. What were you planning on doing with this, huh? Revolution? Wait, they have chickens in the back. What the f? Tonight, you cannot have cock in the car. You are journalist from Kazakhstan. You are not coming in, you fucking bastard. Absolutely not. No CIA.
Anyone else finds it suspicious that Hasan speaks fluent Russian?
You guys are so stupid.